Hello. So in this video, we're going to talk about an exercise for developing your ability to use sensory imagery. And particularly developing your ability to use sensory imagery to convey emotions or attitudes. So this is a challenging thing to do, but in creative writing circles, there's a very common mantra of show, don't tell. Basically, when you are trying to convey something to your readers, give us sensory details, give us descriptions, let us see, hear, smell, taste, touch this this world that you're creating. This is called the work of world building in some creative writing circles. Bring us into this world where your characters exist so that we as readers can experience it. Now that's tricky to do. It's very challenging to do this well. So this is an exercise that you can do, or you can teach your students to do if you're watching this as an instructor of creative writing, or an instructor of, say, a composition course where you are teaching your students to write personal narratives or something like that. That's the context in which I just taught this activity. So you're going to find an image, a picture, a real picture, not, you could do like a painting or something like that, but I think it's harder. So find an image that you are going to be familiar with, that you understand that world. So when I taught this lesson just the other day from Time of Filming, I used a picture from the, I think, 2022 Penn State whiteout football game. So that's if you're not familiar with Penn State, that's a big deal football game here in the Penn State football universe. It's a big game, very important. And so I used a picture of that because most of my students in classes at Penn State would be familiar with that image. Even if they haven't been to a whiteout game, almost, I would say the overwhelming majority of students have been to a Penn State football game, even if not a whiteout game. So they can put themselves in this space. And I think that's a pretty important element of this activity. You want to be able to put yourself in the space so that you can understand that world, see, hear, smell, taste, touch that world in your mind to convey that on the paper. So that's stage one. You've got your image. Yes. Now you're going to write, I would say, a brief paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences, describing that experience. So you're looking at that picture and you're saying, okay, I'm there. What am I experiencing? What am I sensing? But here's the challenge. You don't get to use any emotion words. So you're going to write first a positive description of this experience. I'm happy to be at this football game. This is good. I am excited, etc., etc. That's your feel. Whatever setting you've chosen with your picture. This could be a cityscape or a city street. This could be the woods. This could be the ocean. This could be whatever it is. Whatever place. This could be a party. Whatever it is. You're going to write a 3 to 5 sentence paragraph where this is a positive experience. You are happy to be here. But again, no emotion words. So you can't say, I'm happy, I'm excited. Nothing like that. You have to use details, descriptive language. So give us imagery. What can you see? What can you hear? What can you smell? Maybe what can you taste? What can you feel? And use adjectives. Adjectives, remember, are modifiers for nouns. So they change nouns, typically by describing them in some way. So colors, textures, scents, these can all be sort of amplified with adjectives. So you've got sort of basic adjectives, colors, red, green, chartreuse, maroon, whatever it is. You've got textures, smooth, silky, bumpy, rough, whatever it is. You've got all different kinds of adjectives, any kind of descriptor that is going to give us more information, more detail, and create a mood or tone about a noun, a person, place, thing, or idea. The difference between, for instance, socks and the hellacious reek of unwashed gym socks. One tells us a lot more about the thing being described. That second descriptor, the hellacious reek of unwashed gym socks, tells us not only more information, but it starts to give us a sense of this author's attitude toward the subject. This is not a negative experience, whereas just socks is neutral. So that's what you're going to do. 3 to 5 sentences, positive description of this experience, no emotion words, using sensory imagery and adjectives. Go. Pause the video for a second and do this if you want to. Now, unpause the video. Second challenge, the second portion of this activity, and this is where I think it starts to get fun. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to write a 3 to 5 sentence paragraph describing this experience in the photo, but now it's a negative experience. It is unpleasant in some way. It may be terrifying, it may be overwhelming, it may be anxiety-inducing, it may be physically uncomfortable, whatever it is. You're going to write 3 to 5 sentences taking the opposite approach, the opposite emotional approach of what you had done in the first paragraph. Once again, no emotion words. So that's the goal of this activity. First, you write the positive paragraph, then you write the negative paragraph, and you convey those emotional reactions, those evaluations of this situation through your language choices. Look at them side by side after you've done this. If you've done it reasonably well, at least, one thing that you will see is that you don't need to tell readers how to feel about things. You don't need to tell us how you as an author feel about them. You don't need to tell us how your protagonist feels about them, your main character. We don't need those emotional words necessarily. And if you can master this skill, if you can master this ability to use descriptive language, to tell stories, and to bring the reader where you want them by telling those stories, that's extremely powerful. That's really, really strong, both as a narrative technique and as a rhetorical technique. So if you can do this, that's an extremely good way of telling strong, compelling stories. So definitely a skill worth working on.